Hey, it's me, Marty Leonardson. We are backstage at the Vic Theater. It is night 3 of the XRT Holiday Jam. It's been quite a festive weekend. And tonight we're wrapping it up with Andrew Bird and Alice Merton. And we're so happy to have Alice Merton here to be part of the show. And also to be sitting with us so that we can have a little chat and find out what's going on with you, because we've our other experiences since we've met you have been great. And the last time that we did something together was at the Beat Kitchen, and we did a live from Studio X performance, and it was so much fun. And we hung out afterwards and chatted and talked. And when I left that night and I was driving home, I was like, wow, I feel like I just made a new friend. Aww. This is so cool. So it's nice to see you again. And
it's nice to see you too, Marty.
Yeah, and thank you so much for being here and performing for us tonight here. I know that your touring schedule is like wacko.
I mean, the coordination of it is wacko. It's like just the distances between the various places are sometimes a little questionable. But other than that, it's fun.
Well, I was looking at some of the shows that you've done in this year, and it seems like you go from Switzerland to Italy to Reno, Nevada to back to Europe, Palm Springs, Palm Beach, Florida. It's like really crazy. There are so many holes in your touring itinerary.
And then going back to Mexico.
Yeah.
And then from Mexico to New York and Boston, but then going back to like Los Angeles, San Diego, doing a show there. But then flying back to Europe to do a show, and then we went to then Cyprus.
Wow.
Did a show in Cyprus, then did a show in Germany, then flew yesterday to Chicago, and then now from Chicago I fly then tomorrow back to Germany, then to Italy. And
well,
I'm connecting the dots.
It only makes sense because you are an international artist, because you've lived so many places. And
I think that's the problem, though. I think a lot of countries then feel very connected with me. Mm-hmm. And so especially Germany's like, we need you now. So.
Well, Germany is, you live in Germany,
I do
you?
live in Germany,
yeah.
and I love being in Germany. But it's funny because I feel like I need to split myself into 5 people sometimes, because I mean, I'm sure every touring artist feels like this, but the problem that we have is that we started our own record label, as you know, and so it's not like we'll do just on the one hand like a whole 2 months in Europe and then do the American leg of the tour. It's literally like bouncing from each place to then, because then we'll get a show in there, and then people will ask us, hey, can you do radio promo on this day in this city? And I'll be like, okay, it's near my hometown. I'm in Germany, and like even in Italy, we've got such great fans. We've got a great promoter there as well. So it's fun. It's really fun, but also a little bit tiring sometimes with the flying.
Well, it's interesting too, because your backstory and your song No Roots, the story is that you are somewhat of a rootless person growing up, and it continues.
It really does.
In your professional career as well.
The song has come to life.
Yeah, right? That's crazy. How many languages do you speak?
Just 2.5.
2.5?
So German, English, and obviously growing up in Canada, you learn French. Mm-hmm. But when I learned German, my French kind of lacked a little bit. So, but I'm catching up now again.
I watched a video that you shot recently, and you were in Mexico, and you were on a Mexican television show.
Yes, I was.
It was sort of it looked like an entertainment show of sorts, maybe like The View or something that we have in the United States. Yeah. But you were with 3 people who did not speak English at all, and watching that interview, they were so. I wouldn't say over the top, but they're very enthusiastic in their presentation of their question. But then that question had to be whispered in your ear by an interpreter. What was that experience like?
That was a crazy experience because like you'd have these people with such vibrant like facial expressions and like so much passion, and then you have the guy just be like, and it was hard to kind of concentrate on that because he was doing it at the same time basically as well. So my mind was a little bit confused. But it was great. I mean, that was the first time we were in Mexico. We've never played there before. It was our very first show doing Corona Capital. And I remember I arrived 3 days earlier so that we have 2 full days of promotion. Because as soon as we got the confirmation we were doing the festival, I was like, okay, how many days can we get Alice here for? And yeah, so we definitely made the rounds in Mexico City.
Well, Mexico City is such a crazy town too. I mean,
Driving's a nightmare.
It's so huge,
Yeah.
and there's so much going
Great
on,
city.
and the traffic is like all night.
It's a nightmare.
I know.
I don't. And the driving there. I mean, I thought New York was bad.
Did you notice when you were flying in that you felt like you were in Mexico City as the plane
With the
got
water?
lower? Well, no, the plane got lower, and you're flying over a city, and you still fly for like another half hour because
True. Yes.
the airport is. I mean, the
You're
city is so
absolutely
expansive.
Right. Now that I think of it, you fly lower and lower, and you see all these lights, and you're like, at some point, okay, where's the airport? Is it like right in the middle of the city? Because it's just so many. Like, you're absolutely right.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Yeah. Now
That's
that I think
nuts.
of it, it's interesting though, flying into different cities and just seeing how that happens. When we flew into Cyprus, I was scared. I was like, okay, are we having a water landing? Is this
Because you were over so much water.
It's so much. It's an island,
Right.
So I was really worried that we were going to have that there was a problem. But literally, just before you land on actual like ground.
So like the airport is on the water, basically.
Right, basically on the water.
Wow.
It's like maybe 2 meters from the water.
Wow.
Yeah. So we literally like the whole landing was just on water, and then okay, land for the last 2 seconds. It was scary.
Well, it must have been pretty great this year to release the album.
It was good. Yeah.
Because we were introduced to you through singles, basically, and then a full-length album came out. Is that album a collection of songs that you've had for a while, or did you actually go into the studio with any kind of album concept?
Honestly, so a lot of the songs that were on the album we'd already been playing for 2.5 years.
Right.
And that's why when the album came out, it kind of felt more like a relief. It was like, okay, I know a lot of people are now like listening to these maybe for the first time, but the people that come to the concerts they already know them. Like they've been listening to these for 2 years, and for me it was like closing a chapter almost. I didn't feel like I was opening another one. I felt like it was like, okay, this is now being closed. I've said what I needed to say, and on to the next chapter. So I think that's why this year has been an interesting one. It's been a little bit confusing because I felt like something closed for me, but at the same time, a lot of people wanted to then hear the music performed live, obviously, from the people who'd never actually seen it live. So it was a very interesting feeling, I have to admit.
Well, it must be interesting, like you said, for people to be getting turned on to your music for the first time, and as you said, you're kind of past it a little bit.
Exactly. So, but I think every artist has to deal with that.
Right.
I mean, you've got artists in their 40s playing their songs from when they were 20, and
right.
And I really shouldn't complain about 3 years, but it just felt album-wise like I was closing something, and I'm very excited to open the next chapter.
So have you been working on new music?
I have.
You had time for that?
I have had a bit of time for that. I'm excited to say that next year there will be more music coming. I want to take a little bit of time next year though to really like iron out what I want to put on the album, what I want the album to be about. Just kind of put together the puzzle pieces, because it is the next chapter, but the question is, what is the main message of the next chapter? And I do like to think of that when I make music.
Isn't an album, is that an important thing, to have an album?
I honestly think it's very important. I mean, from a business perspective, a lot of people would argue it's just a single world. From an actual artist perspective and trying to get people to know the actual person behind it. I mean, I don't just write songs and hope, okay, this is going to be a hit. I write songs so I'm telling people stories of what's going on in my life. It's a certain chapter that I'm opening up about. And so that's why I find an album very important, because it's like I'm getting to know you guys and you guys are getting to know me. And I'm telling you guys how it is through my music. I'm very direct, very honest. I mean, each song I write is a true story. So that's basically why I think albums are still important, because it makes me feel like even as someone who's listening to other people's music, that I'm getting to know a part of them.
Right. And from touring as much as you are and doing things that you hadn't really done before and meeting people that you didn't know and all these new experiences, that must really open you up in your songwriting.
Definitely. Yeah, definitely. It really does. Whether it's meeting new people, whether it's getting to know new places. I mean, I've never been to Mexico City, and that was an incredible experience for me. I love it. I really love my job. I mean, there's moments where you're like, okay, I've been on a very long flight and I'm jet lagged, but then you're like just standing in front of these people who actually want to come and listen to your music. There's nothing like it.
And the opportunities you have of meeting new people. Who have you met? Who have you met over the past couple of years that you never thought in a million years you would, and when you did, you were just like, oh my God, I can't believe I'm in this room with this person.
I'm gonna say one of the biggest people, or for me, the biggest inspirations I've met was Brandon Flowers. It wasn't for a very long period, but it was long enough to think like, wow, we're playing on the same stage, and this is incredible. So that was amazing. I have yet to meet Alan Parsons, who inspired a lot of my songs, because when I was very young, I just listened to Alan Parsons.
It was
the first group I ever listened to. I think I started when I was like 6 years old.
Wow. What's your favorite Alan Parsons song?
I really love Stereotomy. Stereotomy, we can make it together. Do anything you want with me. Love that one. I mean, Eye in the Sky is obviously great as well. Right. But or Limelight, you were all I ever wanted. I love that one as well.
You have to work that into your set.
just put in an Alan Parsons feature.
Yeah, well, just a song that's been really important to me. Alan Parsons Project, everyone, and people are like, huh?
Most people, a lot of people look at me very weirdly when I say that he's one of my biggest inspirations. But I love the music. I think it's great.
Well, it's produced so well too.
Oh my gosh!
Well, you worked on Dark Side of the Moon.
I know. Oh, that the productions are just incredible. What was the other one? There's one production that just the beginning, the intro goes on forever, and it's such a good build up. What is it called? Dun dun dun.
Voyager, what
dun,
goes up?
Dun. What goes up must come down. Oh my God! Thank you.
Yeah. Well, we love playing Alan Parsons on the radio, and we love playing Alice Merton as well.
Yes.
So that's perfect. That's
we'll
a feature.
I'll
that
try
is
and do
a feature.
I think that's an upcoming feature. Call me.
So this is your last show of the year tonight?
It's
here
not.
At the Vic?
It's our last show in America.
Mm-hmm.
So that's definitely something. But we have one more show in Germany, and then I'm off to Australia for no shows, for just
for the holidays.
I didn't know I was going to be flying so much beforehand and traveling beforehand. So I'm a little bit worried about the long 25-hour flight, because I've never done a 25-hour flight. But I'm going to train myself. I'm going to write down the exact hours of what I'm going to do when. So I'll read a book for 2 hours. The next 3 hours, maybe watch some movies. The next 4 hours, just maybe look out the window.
It's 25 hours from Germany to Australia?
Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
That's
my
amazing.
fear exactly.
Well, I was going to ask you what the holidays are like in Germany, but you're not even going to be there.
I mean, the holidays in Germany are great. You've got Christmas markets, and I hear in Chicago you guys have a great Christmas market as well.
There's one downtown.
Yeah. Because my family lives here. I flew in a day early to Chicago because my aunt, uncle, and cousins all live in Park Ridge.
Park Ridge?
Mm-hmm.
Really? Have they lived here for a long time?
Yeah, they've lived here. So my aunt's from Chicago, and they've lived here, I think, for 7... I mean, they were in Illinois for a while. But in Indiana. But, yeah, they all live in Chicago now.
Wow. Your personal life is very interesting.
It's a little confusing. But, yeah, no, it was lovely. I got to see Park Ridge, actually, for the first time, because normally they always come visit me.
That's the neighborhood next to where I grew up.
Really?
Yeah, I grew up in Edison Park.
That's
it's part of
so
Chicago,
funny.
so it's right next to it.
Nice. Very cool. Yeah, it's a great area.
Yeah.
We went to...
it's a great place to raise kids, Alice.
It is. I'm not going there yet. I'm not ready for that.
Wouldn't it be funny if you finally, staked your roots in Park Ridge?
Park Ridge.
Go into the Pickwick Theater to see movies.
I'd love it. I'd love that. You never know. I honestly don't know where I'm going to end up. I feel like I love living in different places. I love meeting different people. I I know I'm probably not going to live in Mexico City because it's a very, very busy city.
It's a little crazy.
And the altitude's very high.
Mm-hmm.
It's like 2,200 meters above sea level.
And the air quality isn't so hot.
It's not that great, no. So it probably won't be Mexico City, even though I love the people there. They're very, very warm people. I have been thinking about New York, but the winters there get very cold.
As they do in Park Ridge.
Your guys' winters are scarier than the winters I had in Canada.
No.
Yes.
Really?
My aunt sends me pictures every year of the snow you guys get here.
Where
That's
in Canada
crazy.
does she live?
I mean, I lived in Toronto, near Toronto, Oakville.
Okay.
We had pretty crazy winters there too.
Right.
Like -20. But you
Right.
guys get -20 as well, don't you?
We may.
Yeah, no,
It's
Chicago
usually
winters scare
record-breaking
me.
when that happens.
Really?
Yeah, and when the vortex happens.
The vortex.
Yes, the polar vortex. Mm-hmm.
But you guys also have weird weather. Like I heard, like in April, sometimes it'll just start snowing.
It snowed this year into the second week of May.
See, that's not normal.
Yeah.
That's a little weird.
Killed a lot of plants, a lot of trees that
Oh,
we had.
no.
Yeah, fruit trees.
Poor trees.
Yeah, I know.
Ah.
Well, Alice, we're very happy that you're here tonight.
Are we coming to an end already?
Well, we could keep going.
All right.
I got 38 minutes left.
Oh my gosh.
Wow, that's a nice color. Where did you...
That's Alice's color.
Do you guys know that I collect stuff from radio? Like it's really bad. It's a bad habit, but I collect either hats. I mean, if you have any hats or mugs, or this is
We'll make them.
this is amazing.
The custom Alice Merton edition.
And it's
wow,
long
wait a minute.
sleeve.
Where did you get that?
This is perfect.
Is there a
Long
closet at the radio station where I
Oh
can
my
snag one of
God.
those?
So this is the first long sleeve one I ever have received, and that's exactly what I need. I don't
Really
need short
nice.
sleeve. I need
No,
long sleeve.
Right.
There you go.
Ugh.
For those German
It's like you guys
winters.
exactly for the Chicago winters that I come to Chicago for
Right.
as well.
I know. And we certainly hope that you come more often.
I'd love to. I really
Yeah.
should visit my family more often
You
here.
should.
And you guys, obviously.
Yeah.
I promise next time, though, I won't make smoothies because we made mint smoothies last time. It'll be brownies.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
They're great.
That sounds great.
My brownies, I swear to God, they are the best brownies you will ever eat in your entire life.
Really?
And I'm not just saying that. I've asked people,
We look
and they
for-
don't lie to me.
We look forward. You're going to have to hold you to that.
I promise.
Yeah.
Hey,
Why don't you just send us some?
I mean,
Nah.
from Germany, that might be a little bit difficult. I could
Maybe.
actually go to my aunt's house, make them
Make them
there.
in Park Ridge.
You know what? I should have done that
And I'll
yesterday.
drive over there and pick them up.
And then you can go visit Edison.
I can go visit my old friends in Edison Park. Yeah. That's great.
Yeah.
Well, have a great show tonight. We're really
Thank
looking
you.
forward to it. Thank you so much for being here.
Yeah, anytime.
You know.
Anytime. I will fly all the way to Chicago for you guys.
All right. At the Vic Theater, it's me, Marty Leonards, along with Alice Merton on 93WXRT.com.